Hi there. What happens when a high value lead fills out your form at 11 p.m. on a Friday? For most businesses, nothing. It sits in an inbox until Monday. By then, the lead would have spoken to three or four of your competitors. In this video, I will be showing you an automated system that scores leads, assigns them to the right team member, and then sends a personalized response with a booking link, all in under 60 seconds. No manual review, no copy paste emails, no leads falling through the cracks. So let's break it down. So here is what I see with lots of service businesses, property managers, agencies, consultants, coaches, and so on. They get leads through their websites. Someone fills out a form, and then what? Someone in their team has to check the inbox, look through the details, decide if it's a good lead or a time waster, figure out who should handle it within the team, write a response, and maybe remember to do a follow up. That is about 15 to 20 minutes per lead on a good day. On a busy day, the leads just pile up. So hot opportunities get the same generic responses as good as cold ones. And the really good ones, the ones who are ready to buy today, they're waiting hours or days for a callback. So the math is really brutal. So if you're getting about 30 leads a week, spending 15 minutes each, that's about 8 hours every week just on initial lead handling. And that's before any sales even happens. So let me show you what this system does. This system eliminates all that. So step one is that a lead actually fills out a form. And that, in this case, we're using Tally. So the lead fills out a Tally form, which we would see here. So this form applies to both a tenant who is looking to rent a property and a landlord looking to manage their property for property management. So if you click that you're a tenant and then you click next, all those questions are applicable to you, your budget, your proposed moving date, the areas you're interested in, the type of property, all that is what you would see here. Now, if you say that you are a landlord, what you would get would be different. So if you click next, you're saying the number of properties you want to be managed, where your property is located, the type of property, the current status, your agent status, everything is what you would get in here. So if we go back here, so when the form is filled, it flows in through this system. That's what happens. So different questions depending on whether you're a tenant or a landlord. Then the next step is that this system scores them automatically and is scoring them based on their budget, their urgency, the portfolio size, if it's a landlord, the pain points, and everything gets weighted and totaled. Based on that score, they are categorized into three categories: hot, warm, or cold. Then the step four is that the system automatically assigns them to a team member, an available team member using round robin. So it's fair distribution. So it's not a cherry picking exercise. It distributes the leads fairly among the team members. Then after that, series of follow-ups will happen. As you can see here, so the leads are getting mails based on how they were scored. And then after that, the team member that the lead was assigned to would also get a notification on Slack showing them that there's a hot lead they need to get in touch with a 1 hour deadline. So a follow-up task is also created in the CRM. So I'll show you the CRM. So I've shown you the form which is this tally form. And then we have the CRM, which we're using Airtable in this instance as the CRM. So all the details that were filled will be stored in here. So the T represents the information that were collected from the tenants, while L represents the information collected from the landlords. And then if you look here, you'd see that when they first submit the form, it will be categorized as new. And then when the system assigns them, qualifies and assigns them, they'll be the status will be updated to qualified. And that's what we can see here. Now, from then on, what will then happen is that all this is stored up in that form. So let's just fill one so that you at least have an idea of how it appears here. And then I'll go on and show you a sample email that a hot lead would receive. So let's just do that here. So let me say I am a landlord and my name is Turner. And then let me just use my email addresses. Okay, so let me put this and then let me say I have more than 10 properties, maybe in central London, Canary Wharf, and then the type of properties, maybe commercial properties, and then it moves. And then the current status, let's say it's currently vacant. And so all this add up to what the scoring will be at the end of the day. And if it is urgent, maybe if they want it immediately, and then let's say the annual rental property, the monthly rental income is about 3K. And then maybe they just don't want to manage it themselves, or maybe the person they're working with isn't really performing. And then they say yes, but they want to switch. So what will happen is once this is filled, we'll come here, we'll find it here. So let's go back here and then we click on submit. Once we click on submit and we come here, we give it a few minutes. If we come to the execution spot, we'll see that it has even already completed it. As you can see, this just happened right now. So if we go back there, so this has just been classified as hot. So let's go back to where the information is stored. You can see Abby Turner, the email address and everything. It's a landlord. And we can see the time that it was just done. Now we can see it's 1:55 hot. That's the tier. So the scoring, we can see the scoring. We can see why they give it the scoring. So that's something. So it just doesn't score randomly. It gives you the reason why it scored the lead as such. And then if you notice, it has also been assigned to a team member. So if we come here as well, we would see that a task has been created for Abby to call. So that is there. And the notes are also there. So if Abby wants to check everything, you see it there. And then if we also check here, so this is where the details of the team members are. So as you maybe you enrolled a new person or a new staff, all you need to do is to create a role and then add their details here, and then the round robin continues. So let me show you a sample of the kind of email that the tenant, or sorry, the landlord will receive in this instance. So this is the mail that you will receive. If you notice, it's actually very personalized. Their name is there, The number of properties, which they also indicated, is there. And then a booking link is there so that they can actually schedule a call immediately. So that's the kind of personalization the hot lead will be receiving. And then the warm lead and the cold lead also receives appropriate emails. The warm lead will receive an email letting them know that someone will be reaching out to them in 48 hours, while the cold lead will receive a polite acknowledgement. So this is really perfect for whoever it is that is handling or that receives inbound leads very often. Then this is also a sample of what the Slack notification that your team member would receive. Just a minute, it's coming up. Okay, so if we scroll down, we'll see the most recent one. I see Abby Turner, the email address, and everything. The old details have been shared with the team member, and the action has been stated there that they need to call them within the next 1 hour to schedule a valuation. So that is that about this particular system. It's really important. And why I would say it really matters, why would we build this instead of, just checking your inbox? It's because of speed. So the hot lead gets a response in under a minute. Because let's say a landlord that has about 10 properties is ready to switch agents. You want to be the first on the phone, not someone waiting, and then by the time you get there, maybe the opportunity has passed. Another thing is consistency. So every lead gets the right response for their situation. So nobody's forgetting to follow up, nobody's sending the wrong template. Therefore, then fair distribution is another one. The fair distribution, when I talked about the round robin, where no one is cherry picking the easy leads and then someone is buried in hard work. You see exactly what everyone is doing at a particular time. So that's one thing that this system affords you. Then scalability, whether you're sending 10 leads, 500 leads, 1,000 leads, it's the same system and no extra work is needed. Then there's also audit trail. So everything is logged in your CRM. Who submitted, when, what score was it, who was it assigned to, when were they notified, all that you actually get it, because this is actually useful for for tracking conversion rates and identifying bottlenecks as well. Now, I built this for a property management system company, but this pattern actually works anywhere that you have inbound leads with different value levels. So, for example, now an estate agent can use this, for those that for scoring their buyer leads by budget, timelines, pre-approval status. Then for coaches and consultants, they can score their discovery calls, the discovery call requests by maybe company size, budget, urgency, and all. Then for B2B businesses as well, you can score your inbound inquiries by project scope, decision makers, deal size, timelines, those kind of things. Then for agencies, you can score potential clients by the project scope, the fit with your services, and then the budget as well. Then lastly, recruiters, you can use it to score candidates applications by experience, skill match, availability, all those things. So anytime that you're asking which of these leads should we prioritize, you can definitely automate the decision with this system. That's what the system affords you. And the total cost for a small team is practically zero if you self-host, because this is N10. We used N10 for the automation. We use Tally for the form. We used Airtable for the CRM, and most of them have free tiers. Then I use Gmail in this instance. You can use SendGrid. You can use any email service you're using to send out those emails. Then I use Slack also for the team notification. You can use other platforms as well. Any communication platform will do. And then in this case, we use cal.com. You can use Calendly. You can use your Google Calendar for booking links, anyone that works for you. But it's really easy for you to maintain, at zero to very low cost. And that's the system. So you have automated lead capture, intelligent scoring, you have fair assignment, and then instant follow up. So if you need help building something like this for your business, click the link in the description or drop me a comment. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the very next one.